Samson, if I was the Attorney General, I would not bring back the district or community and circuit tribunals. I will not. I think that the district magistrates, particularly also where they even brought a concept of lay magistrate, who was a non-lawyer. You know, many years back, something before you and I were born.
That's been phased out, right?
They used to call them PMs.
Yeah, okay.
They used to call them PMs. And these were people who were former teachers, retired teachers, policemen and women. They sat as grade 2 magistrates. So they were non-professionals. So I would not introduce an amendment or changes in the law to bring back district and community tribunals. Given the history of the tribunals, the baggage that the tribunal system carried from its birth, I would not bring back the district and community tribunals, but the regional tribunals that were maintained by the Constitution. Because in 2002, that the then MPP government changed the law and abolished the district and community tribunals. They did not touch the regional tribunals. Now, Samson, if you go to the Constitution and you check the clauses on amendment, you will see clearly that Article 142 is not entrenched. So, those who are complaining about the tribunals,
why didn't they expand it?
they had every opportunity to have amended the Constitution and taken out the regional tribunal. Now, nobody paid attention. The NDC wants to bring back the tribunals. Then everybody now says, hey, tribunals are coming. So, for me, people would have to take responsibility for their own lethargy.
What are the tribunals?
The tribunals are a part, or I would say a relic, of the PNDC era. And you know, the PNDC era had certain values: probity, accountability, rule of law, participation of the people, people's power. So they introduced our own Ghanaian way of a jury system, whereby there is a chairman of a public tribunal and panel members who were not required to be lawyers. So, and we had the tribunal, we had the district, the circuit. The district tribunal was the community tribunal. We had the circuit tribunal, we had the regional tribunal, we had the national public tribunal, and we had the national appeals tribunal, which actually was exercising the ultimate jurisdiction of the tribunal system. So it was a parallel judicial system which was boycotted by the bar. Now, at a certain point, the bar boycotted, actually. But if you walked around, you see the lawyers coming in there. Because most of the cases were being filed, particularly the criminal cases, were being filed at the tribunals. And the lawyers were starving. So, even though the bar had declared the tribunals as boycotted, the lawyers were showing up.
Because of profit.
Because of profit. So,
but why did the bar?
The bar, because, you see,
A boycott.
Shamima,
Yes.
the PNDC era, you were, maybe your parents had not even met.
Yeah, but, yeah.
So the PNDC era came with all kinds of public sentiments about justice,
Equality.
free speech, inclusion, and all. So the bar actually, I would say, despised that era. The bar despised that era. and the bar entreated its members not to participate in the tribunals.
Okay.
In fact, at that time,
Dominic Ayeni says
there was even an attempt to form an alternative bar association.
Yes.
Ward Brew and Co.
That's right.
Yes.
They pushed to set up an alternative bar association, and the contention was that the bar association is a voluntary association.
Yes.
Right.
And that you couldn't compel lawyers to be members of the bar association before they could practice.
Right. Dominic Ayeni says that before he was looking, or the NPP and their protestation against the tribunals, they are looking at the tribunals as they existed in a non-democratic regime, and therefore have been accused of abusing, in fact, did abuse people's human rights. But the tribunals in a democratic regime will work with the Constitution. The PNDC values that you just mentioned a while ago are still values of this Constitution. In this Constitution, the preamble speaks of our commitment to freedom, justice, probity, and accountability. And in fact, the people's participation, it speaks of the sovereignty of the country residing in the people and springing from the people. An executive shall exercise that power for and on behalf of the people and for their well-being. So what's the problem?
So my problem is this, and I think it's the structure of what is being proposed that is creating the problem. If it was simply the CJ to be engaged to put judges in the regional tribunals,
which already exists.
Yes, they already exist.
In name.
In name, because there are no judges in place. So I would have avoided this whole hula baloo around reintroduction, because the impression which is being created is that NDC is going to bring back the tribunals.
Meanwhile, it already exists.
The regional tribunals are part and parcel of our judiciary.
Yeah.
Except the circuit and district,
which were abolished
in 2002 by the NPP.
Because those were not in the Constitution to start with.
Okay.
They were not creatures of the Constitution.
And your proposal is that if they intended, they didn't want the regional tribunals as well,
that should have been taken.
They should have amended the
Constitution.
Constitution.
It's not entrenched.
And they have had the numbers in Parliament to be able to amend the Constitution.
Both political parties, in fact, in 2002, the MPP decided not to say a word about the regional tribunals, which stayed as they have been. NDC have come and have gone and have come again. So I would not have created this impression with Ghanaians, given what we knew about the tribunals, that the nominee mentioned. I would simply have constituted by way of empaneling the regional tribunals, which have coordinated jurisdiction with the High Court in criminal cases, and let them focus on the criminal cases to relieve some of the burdens on the regular high courts. This is the way I would have done it. And Ghanaians will not be raising all the questions they are raising.
Okay, thank you.